Welcome back to the Social Seller Podcast with Conor Paulsen, where we interview the world's highest quality communicators, professionals, business owners, creatives, and everything in between. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. If you're a high quality communicator, there's a good chance you're living a lot happier life, but you're also bringing those opportunities into your life almost like a magnet. My guarantee is that on this show, we only interview people that I, one, look up to, and two, that I know are going to continue to kill the game for years to come, and I want to make sure they're on your radar. But what I've learned is by asking the best questions, we get the best responses, and that's what the highest quality communicators, our social sellers, are all about. Let's hop inside to the Social Seller Podcast.
Absolutely. And it goes so far beyond just confidence. And then just you explaining this, why you need a vision is to give you almost that motivation for why are you going to take action each day, right? And without it, and I think so many people, I would say the vast majority, you line up 100 average Joes in San Diego, I'd say there's probably 2 to 5 that have a little bit of this belief, and maybe 2 or 3 that actually take the action aligned.
That's the one thing I do. Is I sat down with some 9-figure motherfuckers the other day, and I said, what's your credo? How'd you get here? What's your credo, bro? And the dude said, make it happen. I said, what fucking areas aren't you making it happen in? What areas aren't you making it happen in? And that's the problem. Motherfuckers stand on their strengths and stop there. I'm all about laser focusing on weaknesses. I get it. You made some fucking money. Why do you got tits, homeboy? Why are you so fat? Why don't you understand your daughter will go to school overweight and get picked on, so you have broken no cycle? Here you are, standing there. Oh, I broke the cycle of money with my family. And I'm sitting here like, what other cycle didn't you break, big dog? Can you go there next? Have you spent enough time basking in the money glory? Next fucking area. And that's what I do. I know wisdom's unbiased. So if I said one fucking quote that I resonate with, I apply it to every area of life, and I apply it in a system where I can fucking structure to work on each of them daily and get my outcome very quickly in all areas. Because we need to be well-rounded. But the thing is most people just don't believe this is possible because their mind's not well-arranged. And we know well-arranged time is a sign of a well-arranged mind. So every day I literally have this flawless process. I don't seek any vacations. I don't want them. The person who lives the best life, the person who has the best existence, is the person who's not trying to take a fucking vacation from their fucking life. I don't want a vacation. I love what I do every fucking day. You couldn't pay me to take a vacation. But I'm just saying, the whole thing is it's across the board. You don't stop there. That wisdom, that quote you said, next fucking area.
Wow. And what you're speaking on is extreme ownership. And that was something that it's no one else, right? When you take full responsibility for everything, and even a team setting, our team's over 50 now, right? Going out of my way to make sure, even though I know a lot of times, once in a while, I'm not gonna say a lot of times, this wasn't me, I still take full ownership, especially internally, how much that helps. Also externally, when I'm dealing with a prospect or a client, people feed on that. For you live a life of extreme ownership. If something isn't going your way, you don't blame it on the individual. There's no one else to blame but yourself. What would you recommend to someone that wants to live their best life, but is still acting selfish?
I mean, the first thing I say is remove all vices. So, I've referred to anger as a vice, but remove any vices or anything that bring immediate pleasure and then regret ensues. So regret is your guideline. Whatever you regret, it's got to fucking go. If you're drinking and you regret that, it's got to go. So anything you regret, you overate, got to go. Regret's your guideline. Everything you regret, remove, and then add in all the stuff that has no regret to it. And it's the same process. It's the same process I teach, which is, it's the early wake up. It's the reading and reflection. It's the training and it's the macronutrients. And then it's working in to learn how to monetize your passion. And you'll find your passion through all this stuff, but then people get lost and they think everybody has to be a fucking online coach because that's all they see working. And that's the stupidest fucking shit. Because I wasn't trying to fucking think I could be this. I just really, I had been living this for so long. And that's the problem is everybody thinks life is about acquiring and possessing, but I teach being and becoming. So, it's about being and becoming what you do. So through and through, you can just pinpoint areas of pain, overcome them, and teach it. So your trauma is the prerequisite to your life's purpose. Whatever your trauma is, whatever your painful point is, overcoming that is a prerequisite to living your purpose. So a guy who grew up broke or whatever, he may be someone in finance and help people fix that part of their life. Someone who grew up overweight knows that pain, has emotional attachment to it, and really can be emotionally motivated and charged by it, so they know what that feels like. They're like, fuck that, we're not gonna have you live like this. A man should never have trouble walking down the beach with his fucking shirt off. Fuck that, what the fuck is happening? Like, be fucking comfortable. Your weird ass fucking energy is tripping your fucking kids out. And like I'm saying, like, self-investment is self-love. So the biggest problem is the lack of self-investment, which turns into self-love, love being a verb. But the problem with this is people do love their kids. They love their kids at their capacity to understand what love is. And love, anything at which we wish to give externally, must be cultivated internally. So this fat dad who drinks an 18-pack every fucking 3 days and is overweight, he does love his son at the capacity at which he's created love within, and he can only give it at the same exchange. So his son is just fucking like, fuck, dude. Like, dad comes up all drunk, the energy's not congruent. He's telling him he loves him, but he doesn't feel it. He doesn't sense it. This dude's fucking, nothing is matching up. But when you leave the gym, when that person opens the door for you and they say, hey, have a good day, why is that so congruent? Because at that person loves and respects himself, and the energy exchange was real. But when we're doing fucking shady ass shit or stupid ass shit or fake ass shit, that's why people don't realize how fucking fake they are. They're not aligned. Anything that's not alignment is fake. It's fucking fake. And so the point being is, even if you're not loving yourself and you're telling people you love them, it's just not congruent. And that's why, like I said, which place do people really hold the door open for you? The gym. And you know that, go to like any other establishment. Someone will open the door for you, but you didn't feel it like you did the gym when that person was all positive and it was flowing. And so learning to have accountability towards your rate of vibration, your frequency, is the utmost. And that extreme accountability, that extreme awareness. My program teaches awareness. Like, it's all on you. Even if the people around you are failing, it's on you. Yeah. If you're able to criticize it, why do you think they see it? They don't see what you're criticizing. But here you are not offering a solution. So, I mean, that extreme accountability, I read Jocko's book while I was in prison. A Hell's Angel homie of mine sent it to me. And I read Jocko's book, and I looked around, and I'm like, oh, these dudes are lost fucking kids. It's on me if they're failing. And so and in prison, it really is on you if they're failing. Because if they're stupid and they go start a fight with another race, you have to fight that other race. If one of your people, a white guy, goes and starts a fight with a cop, you have to fight that cop. If you don't fight the cop with them, you get stabbed. If you don't fight the other race with them, you get stabbed. So the point is you better bring these people up around you or they're going to take you down. And so it was like war, you know, it was like Jocko's book, but I just really was tormented by my negative internal state about these people, looking down on them. Like, look at this fucking pussy. Like, look at this bitch, dude, this fucking sloppy fuck. And I'm just sitting here torturing myself with negative self-talk towards them. And I'm like, this is not conducive to my mental state. So almost out of selfishness, I selflessly created good men out of them. So I had to put all my energy into creating these dope-ass men that I truly respected so that I could get away from that negative self-talk that was just congruent with the facts I saw and the truth I saw around me. So I had to alter the truth I saw around me, and that was changing men.
Holy shit. You started your coaching before getting out, before the content even came. I
have posts in prison of me doing transformations with people, tracking their macros and doing side-by-sides.
Well, I'm going to link in the description below. I would love to get specific links to get a couple of the posts from prison, because I haven't seen those yet.
The pictures are shitty, but there's a few of like my boy Pup from Antelope Valley, and then my boy Whiskey, and then my boy Books. And these were the guys that I worked with. I had my 5 or 6 guys that I really worked on. Those 5 or 6 guys were my products. People saw them change, and then everybody would come after that, you know. And it was just everybody would come. I mean, I'll get green dot numbers from people on the street sending them macros and shit and sending them workouts, you know.
Green dot.
Green dot being like a money pack, like a number, like it's like a phone number, but you load it onto a prepaid debit card.
Okay.
Like I have a phone book full of fucking numbers in prison that would total more than most people have out here. And it would just literally like phone numbers like John, Sally, da-da-da-da, whatever the fuck. And each one of these numbers are like $500. And so whenever I show up to like a prison, I don't have a phone or something, I'm like, boom, I pull out like 3 numbers, I give it to someone, I say, go get me a phone. They're like, oh, they're only $1,200. I say, keep the fucking rest, dude. They're like, this dude's a savage. Like whenever I show up at a new prison, they're like, fuck, like it's about to change right here. Because I'll see some shit nobody sees, and I'll be able to do some shit nobody can do. And I'm literally like, I'll change everything for everyone real quick. When I show up, they're like, I'll show up, buy 3 or 4 phones. You know? I have them floating around, and these phones are getting leased out for like $50 an hour, and they're just have other people cycling them for me, other people sitting on it. How'd you not get caught for your phone? I'm like, dude, if you came in, you would hold it for me.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, fuck. Like, no, I wouldn't. I'm like, hell yeah, you would. I'd give you a free hour, or that's the work you're putting in for our people. Like, you're holding my fucking phone. I'll make a motherfucker sit next to me while I'm doing an Instagram post. The cops come walking in, and I hand it next to him. I say, get the fuck out of here, you know? And I mean, the thing is do you want to put in that work, or do you want to go stab this dude or kick this dude's face in? I gave you a good job.
Yeah.
I gave you a better job than what was coming. And trust me, I've done the work. I've done the dirty work, because leaders lead from the front.
Yep.
So everything I'm going to ask of you, I've already done. I'm going to have you get up at this time. I'm going to have you up at 5 in the morning. I'm up at 2:45. I'm going to have you work out once a day. I'm working out 3 times a day. I'm going to have you fucking anything I'm going to ask of you, I'm doing more than that. So
Lead by example. That takes it to a whole nother realm, right? Because the social dynamics of being in prison, a lot of those people aren't getting out. For you to be able to bring them up, I mean, that's some of probably the lowest level of fulfillment they probably ever felt in their life for a lot of those guys.
dude, them motherfuckers in there are so lost. Like, a lot of them from group homes, had no dad and shit. One of the dudes, I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? And he's like, got a razor, and he's like poking himself like in the face like this with like a normal shaving razor. I'm like, nobody taught you how to fucking shave, bro? Like, long strips, just pull, dude. And he didn't know how to fucking shave. And I'm like, there's no fucking way. Like, this is not possible. And the dude even messaged me the other day trying to get on my program. He came through my funnel. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm on Nate. Is it Whiskey? Is this you, bro? He's like, yeah. And it's like, but like, they're like 45, and they're my kids, bro.
Yeah.
And like, I always wanted to be a dad. So like, is this the dad I was gonna be? Like, am I ever gonna have my own kids? I don't have my own kids. I have a stepson. But I'm like, I'm okay with any of it, because we're all connected. It's a collective consciousness. And I was a father to dudes who were 50 years old, a father to dudes who were 18. You know, I mean, people write me all the time, like, you're my fucking internet fucking uncle, dad. You know?
Yeah.
And I mean, the biggest problem, what I see, is why I got there in the first place wasn't me, or why most people got there, or the problem in society is what I'm solving actually that people don't see is I'm solving the rite of passage for young men. The rite of passage for young men is the reason they join gangs, they do stupid shit, and they seek validation that gets them in trouble, because they just want to fit in. They don't know or have a quality rite of passage. So I'm giving them a quality rite of passage. Nah, motherfucker, a real man's up early. Nah, motherfucker, a real man's ripped. Nah, motherfucker, a real man is a man of service. Nah, motherfucker, like, a real man eats right. He don't drink. He don't do these drugs. This is the man, you know? And they're these little kids, like 15, 16, like fucking every age in between, fucking 15 to 60. They're like, man, I never had it broken down that this is what a man is. And it all fit.
Yeah, whether it's behind bars or not, that speaks on so many men,
Rite
so
of
many that I
passage.
see. Absolutely. And not having that, anyone to look up to. I see how people look at you as a role model. I mean, I see it as like, I haven't been told some of these things in my upbringing.
This is what I did. It was acquire what you admire. You're going to listen to the person who has what you admire, what you want to be. So I just saw every area of what I wanted to be, and I created it. More ripped than motherfuckers. I got more money than motherfuckers. I don't have the fucking downside and all this shit. And it ain't to elevate. I mean, there's 2 ways to teach. There's manipulation and inspiration. And it's just to inspire. It's just to inspire, because I don't like any of it. I don't know I'm swole. My Rolls Royce feels like, hurts my ass just the same after 30 minutes of driving as any other vehicle. I don't even like driving. I do like 1 lap around town and get back on Zoom calls. Right now we're existing. There's no pain of the future. There's no anxiousness attached to the future. There's no pain attached to the past. So, I mean, right now is pure existence. I don't know anything other than this. So we're right here. We're just in flow state. And this is life. When you can go from flow state to flow state to flow state all day long, you'll be at your most conducive mental state to really produce the result needed and live your purpose. So this is what I do all day. People don't really know what I do, but I just have conversations like this with people, and I work with people like this, and we develop path, vision, And then we actually break it down to a blueprint to pull this off. What are you acquiring? What you admire? Creation of higher self. And people just, like normal people who work like normal ass jobs and are essentially, they really don't believe they're the biggest sellouts. And they really would think that someone who has money is a sellout. But broke people, they're the most selfish people. They can serve nobody but themselves. They're broke. What can they do for anybody? They can't. So, I mean, the point being is they literally sold out on their vision and what they wanted to do with their life for very little money. And what I didn't do, I sat and I worked on my phone and lived off canned chicken and created this vision I had. And that's what fucking ended up giving me the life I was supposed to lead. But if everyone just followed their passion and followed their vision, they would be living the life. But they sold out somewhere along the road. Like, yeah, it was getting difficult, but it wasn't difficult enough. They were supposed to learn more right at the cusp of where they broke and said, fuck it, I'm just going to work at UPS the rest of my life. And then they don't realize why they're so void of any purpose, because unfulfilled vocation just drains the color of a man's entire existence. They just don't get it. And the point is they think it's too late to turn back because they got bills and they got this and they got that. It's like, no, you just really have to not have that 18-pack anymore. You have to not go eat for a while, you fucking fat slob. And you need to fucking save all this money on the side. And then you need to plan your route, even if it's 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 7 years from now. What you can on the side. But I have kids and I have all this. What you don't have is long view. And you're blaming it on your kids. That's wrong. They're actually the motivation, you simple motherfucker. You literally, long view in any job with any income, I could find the gap to where they could completely change their life. It might take 10 years, but why do I give a fuck about 10 years? It took me 13. So, I mean, I really don't care if it takes you 3 years, 5 years, or 7 years of saving on the side to make a big move. I talked to one of my clients the other day, and she just bought a house, and she works in the military, and she's like, it took me 7 years to save up that 60 grand. And I'm telling her I made 60 grand in the last 2 days, you know? And she's like, oh my God, I want to do what you do. I'm like, you're going to do what I do. Because she's got herself ripped. She understands macronutrients very well. It is her passion, and she's going to teach it. And I'm going to show her how to turn 6 figures monthly off of it. And she's going to be like, oh my fuck. Like, but this is what we do. We learn something and then we give it away. When we teach, we learn twice. So we just further our craft.
I love it, man. And from 15 to 60 years old, you're helping clients. I've seen the transformations, and I've seen a lot of transformations, right? I've been a digital marketer 8 years. I'll just round it up to a decade. You see this. It's social proof. Yours are vastly different, man. I will see a 60-year-old go from fat ass, slob, and I don't even know what the timeline is, but this guy's ripped, and I'm talking he could hop on a Bowflex commercial.
Yeah.
This isn't low level like, oh, I think I see a 2-pack coming in.
Veins, fucking shredded.
Shredded. When you're saying ripped, this isn't I look good, I feel good. But this is shredded.
What it is I transferred my self-talk to them, and that's what trainers and coaches aren't doing. So when their client goes to open the fridge, they're not saying, damn, you're a fucking fat bitch with tits, motherfucker. Your kid looks at you like your mom, you pussy. And that's what's needed. I mean, they're too soft. Oh, no, those aren't good for you. They're not even addressing the real shit. Like, your son ain't looking at you like a superhero, motherfucker. You're falling victim to some snacks. Like, you're watching Braveheart and you're watching Game of Thrones and some snacks are doing your life in, but you're living vicariously through Jon Snow, you fucking fake motherfucker. Why don't you bring some real power to your fucking life? Like, what the fuck is this? It's just so laughable. Like, so then I get these dudes, I tap right into the emotion, I pull the fucking truth out of their heart, show it right in front of their fucking face, and I'm like, what? Like, you think your wife's attracted to that bullshit? And I'm like, why would you do that to her, man? And it's like, it just telling them the truth they need, you know? And the fact is, it has to come from someone who's not suffering from the same situation, self-created fucking shitty situation like themselves. And everybody in their circle has no money. They got fucking a big old stomach. They got all the same problems. Because why? Because they got all the same fucking habits. So it's not a hack, it's habits. I'm instilling habits in motherfuckers by fucking attaching to those deep emotional motivators.
Absolutely. Who is your ideal customer, and what is going on in their mind or their lives when they're coming to you for help? What are they saying? Where do they want to be? Who is that ideal customer? Who do you help the most?
It's just anyone. I mean, I get so many vastly different people. I have like an online community with like 8,000 people that's $47 a month. And these people do group workouts all around the world. I have a medium product, mid ticket, which is like $299 a month. And I have about 1,800 people on that. And then I have a high ticket that's $2,999 a month. And I have about 50 people on that. And then we do a lot of other stuff. We have business coaching now, which is filling up every fucking day because I'm giving people back a return. The business course is about $7,500 for 12 weeks, and people are getting that back, getting $10,000 back in the first 30 days. So I mean, the crazy thing is by the time that fills up, we're gonna have to just keep hiring the price because I'm actually working with them one-on-one. I work on the organic and my team works on the business side, actually getting them the leads, actually building out their funnel. It's not done by you. It's done fucking for you partially and by you partially. A lot of their business coaching is just done by you. You would still have to hire all the people, but my people on the back end are getting you 300 leads off your fucking ad that only costs a couple hundred. And we're building out your funnel. We're showing you all this shit. We're helping you with the copy on the ads. And then I'm helping on the organic side because I really know how to speak. And I build up their organic side correctly where they're not just not understanding that they have to tell who the fuck they are because people don't listen to you until they know you. And I mean, I just show them how to hit both ends, organic and paid, to where the leads just come in so much to where now they're going to have to hire a sales guy in their first month because they ain't going to be able to fucking get all the leads.
Champagne problems. Good problems to have.
Yeah, they love it.
Right? And what I love is you're not just providing what the coaching I see, right? I'm fortunate. I've talked to a lot of business coaches, consultants, probably at least 1,000 in the last 2 years, right? They've been an ideal client for us. Not necessarily always in the fitness space. It's always, I'm going to tell you what happened or what to do, right? I'm going to tell you how to think, but I'm never going to lead by example. I'm never going to implement these things. And I think that's what kills so many people that are looking to get a start, whether it's your physical transformation in life or you want to start that business, right? I love that you talk about the congruence. You have to have your mind, body, physical, and I would even go as far as saying spirit. And on that level, are you spiritual or religious? And what would you say the difference is?
I'm spiritual. I mean, I literally just believe in a higher power. I believe in infinite intelligence. I believe I have one of the greatest fucking connections with infinite intelligence, which is just the universe speaking to us. And I mean, I just have cultivated that by earning my spot at the table. For every fucking day for the last 13 years, I've connected with action, grateful actions that connect me to a higher power. And I speak directly from that. I like to say I'm not a good writer. I'm not a good speaker. I'm not any of these things. I'm just a good listener. So all I'm doing is sitting here blank and I'm listening to what I'm supposed to be told. So just a vessel. And you open up that pathway by being grateful. And the height of gratitude is breaking something as pleasurable as sleep to get up and create your best self to give that person to the world. I mean, I don't know anything more grateful than that. Most people be like, the reason most people sleep in is because they're tired. The reason I get up is because people need me. And I wake up to say, motherfucker, like, how can I best serve everybody today is the first thing I say when I get up. And that's just removing all my feelings that I sometimes believe as fact, And I mean, my feelings are insignificant. It's just non-negotiable that I'm going to serve everybody best today. I'm going to best serve them by starting my day off selfish and ending it selfless. So selfishly, I have to create the best me as the product to then give to everybody the rest of the day. But, the height of gratitude is waking up to create an individual that can be the instrument.
Absolutely, man. I've learned so much today. Damn, I'm glad we connected, man.
No, we're fully tapped in. Like I have calls that I'm fully I was supposed to notify the people like, hey, like the Zoom's gonna be pushed back, but I really don't give a fuck. You can get a refund, motherfucker, because this is too good. And I don't give a fuck if it costs me $7,500 to drop this knowledge, man. This is nothing. I tell people that all the time. I'm like, oh, you don't like that I was late? Oh, you can take your money back. I'm like, we're working on a timeline that's abundant. Like, I'll do anything for you. You could call my personal phone when you need me. But if something came up, it came up,
Yeah.
And I would never, there would be no lie of what came up. It would never be my selfish desire that kept me from it. It would have been something else that intervened that was high calling at the time, which is this, because we're going to reach a lot of people.
Right? Couple more. We're in flow. I want to keep it rolling. Now, for someone that you've amassed, you're almost at 500,000, and I'm sure over the next year you'll be at 1 million plus subscribers, which out of any social platform, a subscriber to most marketers is going to be the hardest conversion. But once you get them, they want to continue. They want to consume. What would you recommend to someone that is a coach, or I'll just say anyone that's considering creating content on a regular basis that hasn't, to get the best results? So we talked about authenticity. You have to be congruent.
The best results are going to come from the person who learns to not be so fucking selfish. So someone could sit right in my chair right now, and they would be sitting here worried about themselves so much, the message wouldn't come across clear, and they would be stuttering and stammering and fucking insecure and everything like that. And a lot of people don't create content because how they look and how they feel, and they don't like their voice. And really, you're just supposed to get up and give what's of value to you. Fuck you. You know, it's not about you right now. You're supposed to be the teacher, and you're supposed to be providing value. So why the fuck are you so worried about you, you selfish motherfucker? And these people, they sit there and they're like, I don't like how I looked. Well, you're selfish. Like, you literally absorb all this shit from all these motivators and people. You don't think they originally had those thoughts too? They just fucking drowned all that bullshit out, because they knew that people needed what they had to give. And everybody can speak to someone on this fucking the spectrum. So every increment on the line can be spoken to from someone. Someone is the teacher for somebody else. So people are always like, oh, coaching is flooded. This is like a saturated market. I'm like, we need more coaches. How could we ever have a problem having more people saying, quit drinking, quit smoking, eat better, fucking just be grateful, be positive? Like, just even that helps. And I mean, then if you go deeper and deeper and deeper and you teach people, I mean, it just is, it's everything. This is all we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to be chasing money. We're supposed to be understanding ourselves and providing value and worth by curing people's pain. I mean, there's plenty of people at the top of the building like me, and they're living in massive pain. And the point is they don't even get to enjoy it. It floods their whole perspective. Their life is just being thrown away by a flawed perspective. And the flawed perspective is that they believe that they're inherently going to be feeling a certain way each day, or they wait for something external to solve an internal issue. I mean, internal issue, it's the dumbest shit. Like, we always believe it's possible, but once you get away from that and you learn to solve your internal issues internally, it's a whole different ballgame. Everyone's looking for external solutions to internal issues and then being left empty.
Absolutely. You have the perfect balance of emotional intelligence and then willing to just be authentic and talk about vulnerabilities. I don't know many people that would be willing to talk about it like this, but it made your story.
Goes on YouTube and cries, but I'm just saying, I do it all the time because I love it. I just can't hold it. What the fuck? Like, I can't. Emotional motivation was everything to me. I tried to be motivated like those fake motherfuckers who put on like crazy ass loud music and fuck the way, I'm gonna lift these weights. And then I tried listening to something that made me want to tear up. I tried listening to something that fucking was like a woman's voice when I was in prison, missing that, you know, only around men and this fucking testosterone, all this bullshit. And then I just attached to like how much I loved and missed this aspect of life, and then just had an outward flow of power towards it. And I was like, I'm gonna prepare, and my chance will come. So every day I was preparing myself for that woman I would meet. And I was creating this individual that I truly loved, respected, and admired, so that I could give him solely to one individual. And that was the greatest gift I ever could believe. And now I've given him to my wife, and everything I learned this whole time is helping her through her struggles with addiction and other stuff. And just recently, she said, I'm going to the gym with you tomorrow. And she was in the car with me at 3:30 going to the gym with me, and has been going consistently, which is something anyone who knows her would be like, yeah, fucking right.
Wow.
So it's just proud moments, you know, that your energy lifted them up, and your example got them to say, I'm coming, you know.
Yeah. Wow. Valerie is an incredible human. I know
She's
that
awesome.
is, and it speaks to both of you and the quality of the relationship that you're there to help each other, right? You know, we've all been through adversity, and we know that every form looks a little different for everyone. We all have that story. So props to you. And at some point down the road, I'd love to get both of you on and just have a conversation. Yeah.
she's going to fully go full circle with what I said, our trauma being the prerequisite to our life's purpose. So she's fully going to heal herself and then start healing others. She just started recently, just like speaking about what she goes through. And it's so powerful. People don't realize we're an interdependent society. You can't hold all that shit in and think you're ever going to find the solution. And then when you start sharing on a platform like social media, law of attraction is so real that you share something that you're going through, and then all of a sudden, when you needed the answer most, this message is there. And it's the answer to what you're looking for. And you're just like, fuck, dude, how powerful is this? And, you know, everyone doesn't see the tool for what it is because they're so scared of the backlash and negativity of being vulnerable. But really, it just shows me how flawed you are. If you can go through 100 comments, 99 positive, and really stew on the one negative, well, then you've just learned a lot about yourself. You can have the cup be so overflowing and still look at the one fucking problem. And that's what a lot of people are doing. Their life is so amazing, and they just fixate on the one negative problem, which then enhances it.
Exactly. And the way the Superior Man talks about the alpha of a male or the maturity of a male is the degree of how much critical feedback or just straight up truth that you can take from the fellow man. Like the shit you don't want to hear, right? To me, that really hit home because I realized in life, like there's always levels to this, and you might hit the next step, but there are a lot more. And I think for you, where does all this go over the next 5 to 10 years? You obviously have this vision, and I'm sure as you live each day, that probably gets a little clearer. You put time into it, but where is Wes in your brands, your companies in 5 to 10 years?
I just want to teach what I learned and give people everything I'm learning over time, just exponentially growing in every way, and teaching them how to overcome their pain. By them, it's simply about not breaking character. You're going to be faced with a lot of shit, and you're only paying for your reaction to it, your response. So if we get people to have the correct response that's congruent with their outcome, if we get people to teach people that their actions, their energy, and their thoughts have to be aligned with the outcome they want, you can actually puppet master life. You can orchestrate everything by just knowing that. And I mean, the thing is their brain isn't, they don't have the fucking capacity to just individualize each thing. So right now I'm working, my thoughts, my actions and energy are going towards this message. In the morning it was going towards my body. It was going towards my process. And everybody, they want to do so many things at once that they don't pull off anything. And so the point being is learning to take imperfect action towards this vision and slowly just enjoy it and embrace the struggle, embrace everything you come across, see it as the true gift. The obstacles are the path, and then we're just slowly learning and developing, and then you get around people you haven't seen for 6 months and you're like, holy shit, I'm way different, and in a good way. And it's really just about teaching people to overcome what really ails them by telling them that I see it. And because they think nobody sees it. Like the one guy doesn't think that I see how painful it is that he can't take his fucking shirt off at the beach. He doesn't see it anymore because he drowned it out with more tacos and more beers. But then the thing is I'm like, no, motherfucker, now you're bringing that onto your son. Now he's not gonna. The fuck are these people not making macro-friendly meals for their kids for? Like if you should have the capacity of understanding food so well by now, because you've been around for how many fucking years, that you understand the macronutrients that are going to keep your kids healthy and not be made fun of at school, and ask them, what foods do you like? And then know their foods they like, and then reconstruct them with the macronutrients that are fucking in alignment with the result that they would want to have, which is being lean and healthy and building muscle and having less body fat. But instead, everybody's on this bullshit where they can just love themselves with no investment, which is not true.
Yeah, and that goes right into, for people that are interested in working with you, what does that first 30 to 90 days look like? Just from a high level, in less than a minute, if you wanted to explain.
We just get you on board, and we get your picks, we get your weight, and then I give you your macronutrients, your workout, and that's just like the small part of it. We get on Zoom calls as a group, And we just really dig deep into everything. But most of my clients have been absorbing my content. Every day someone says, I've been following you a year, I'm ready. So, I mean, the client you get up today, you should have like nurtured for the last year in your content. So, I mean, the content you put out today is going to get you a sale a year from now. That's the way I look at it, and that's what I see, is most people watch my stuff for a year or more, and they've already adopted my beliefs, and my leads come in hot because they're already on board with my belief system. So it's really about them just gaining that trust with you, and you having the quality results, and then them hopping on board and them fucking listening, and then just breaking down the barriers where they think they know some shit. And so I've actually nurtured most of my clients before they hop on board, so they just listen to what I tell them, and they get fucking ripped. They get ripped. They change their mindset through the process. And the discipline that they've created through the process transfers into every area of life. And then I use these terms and these mindset tactics to then even further all the stuff that I'm having trouble with. Like say something like the inconvenience factor. Like, you've been up 15 hours, you're working, and your wife wants you to go get diapers. And you're in the back of your head, you're like, you're going to go get them. But in the back of your head, you're like, you fucking motherfucker, I've been up 15 hours, and you literally have been sitting there for 4 hours. Now your subconscious thoughts towards that person are not congruent with the outcome you want, and your energy is flawed. Now you go, you get the fucking the diapers, and you come back, and you did the action, but you're not getting the results you thought you wanted or would get for that you went and got them. And it's because your actions were correct, but your subconscious thoughts and your energy weren't in alignment with the fact that last week you told her you would die for her. And now you won't even get diapers without being a fucking bitch. And so the point is I'm teaching people to be congruent in everything, especially when inconvenience, because that's when it matters. When you wake up, inconvenience, who are you? When that gets thrown on your plate, who are you? You're not who you are when everything's going your way, motherfucker. That's not who you are. You're who you are when the shit hits the fan. That's your level. So enhance, bring that up.
And for the individual that's listening to this right now, whether they've seen your content, they've been watching it for over a year, I mean, it is a rabbit hole. I'm so excited to just dive in more. I mean, 4 hours in the last 24 hours, there is so much content that I've never experienced, and thank you for putting it out. For someone that wants change, how can they get in contact with you, and what's the best place?
WesWatson.com, and then go to my YouTube channel, GP Penitentiary Life with Wes Watson, and then my Instagram, Watson_fit.
Absolutely. And we will put all of those links in the description. I want to thank you again, Wes. This was an absolute pleasure, my man. This was a conversation unlike anything else. You are a congruent social seller, regardless of what you've created in the circumstances, whether they were in your control or not. Individuals like you and me, we want to take full ownership, and we are here to provide maximum value to you. Now, to continue helping us so we can put this kind of content out consistently and make sure we're providing you the value you need, please leave a comment below on either what your favorite part was or how we can continue to improve this show, right? And be vulnerable, share the real stories with no filter. We'll see you on the inside.
Good shit.
Dude, good shit, man.
Murdered
good shit. I had another 3, and I was like, all right, we got to time it up because I'm sure...